On a day when I need to be productive, I try to make sure that I wake up early and get the day started on the right foot. In order to have a fresh start, I start the day by going into the bathroom, brushing my teeth, and taking care of my skin. I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but making your bed as the first task in the morning always starts your day off right. I always make my bed before I do anything, including getting dressed or eating breakfast, so that way I have accomplished at least one thing for the morning. Another helpful hint is to change clothes if you're going to be working at home all day, and since we're in quarantine, I make sure to change out of my sleepwear and into loungewear. The first thing that I do when I sit down at my desk is check my emails. I want to make sure that I filtered through my inbox and responded to any important emails before I get the day started, and then I immediately go to work in my planner. Using my day designer, I make sure to time block my days and write out all of my to-dos and projects. By doing so, I have a physical and mental checklist of everything that needs to be done during that day and during the following week. Although I don't wear makeup very often, especially since right now we are not going outside, I do like to put it on when I'm going to be filming a video or when I just want a little pick-me-up.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin. I'm a master's student at the University of Oxford studying history, and in the fall I will be starting my PhD at Yale University in history and African American studies. I wanted to make some slightly more high production videos with some voiceovers, so I'm playing with a slightly different style of video today, and I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys do, please let me know by giving this video a thumbs up and commenting down below. I would love your feedback. I have been doing a little bit of research on video editing, and I want to improve the quality of my videos, so let me know if you guys notice. During this quarantine period, I have taken on a part-time job riding horses professionally again. So the only full days I have to work on my master's dissertation, prep for the LSAT, work on my YouTube videos and whatnot are Mondays and Saturdays. So I'm using today, which is Monday, to prep for the week ahead and to get a bunch of things done. Luckily, I don't have any clients today, but I do have some client work that I need to submit. If you have not watched my videos before, you may not know this, but I have an admissions consulting business where I help students get into undergraduate universities as well as postgraduate programs. I have clients from all over the world, and I offer one-on-one consultations for admissions applications, and so I have some client documents that I need to review today and send over to her. And then I also need to work on prepping for the LSAT. I need to spend at least 3 hours studying today, and then I also need to do some lit review for my dissertation. If you guys watched my update video, you may know that my original dissertation project basically got scrapped, but luckily I have managed to resurrect it slightly, and I am currently working on starting that project essentially from scratch, and am looking at the secondary literature in order to find specific case law for the dissertation. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later, and if you guys have any specific questions on my research, I'd be happy to answer those. So I'm going to quickly go grab myself some food and then get straight to studying because it's going to be a long day and I have a lot that I want to accomplish. So let's go ahead and get into it.
I've been waiting, worth every minute though. You took the time and changed it into something beautiful. When I close my eyes, only you that I see. You're in my head, in my heart, in my dreams. Take you, my love, take you a little bit higher. No.
Although this is my second time preparing for the LSAT, this was my first time using this particular prep course. So today I was focusing on the introductory lectures, taking notes and making sure that I had the key concepts down.
I'll take every moment that I have with you, treat it with a heart wide open, like it's all I'm made to do.
Alright, so it's around noon now and I've been studying for about 2.5 hours and I'm definitely in need of a break. I'm a bit hungry, so I'm going to go ahead and head upstairs and just heat up some leftovers and then come back and take a little bit of a break. After my lunch break, I want to film my bedroom tour because I want that to go up later in the week. My grandma went out to run some errands and she got me some cold brew from Starbucks, which is excellent because I'm definitely in need of a pick-me-up. With the LSAT prep, I'm currently working on logic reasoning questions and figuring out the question structures. So working on that currently, and then I'll likely move on to either reading comp or logic games later this evening. But after my lunch break, I am going to film and then I'm going to be working on my dissertation. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some food upstairs, then come back down and take a little bit of a break and probably watch some YouTube. Alright, so I'm back from my break. I have changed shirts because I was getting way too warm, and now it is time to down my coffee and get to work on my dissertation. Today my goal is to indicate what secondary sources I might need to either purchase or download to work on my dissertation. I do that by basically checking the footnotes in other secondary literature that I used before. So that might sound kind of complicated, but I'll explain it in the voiceover while I'm going through my dissertation work because I want to be able to explain a little bit more in depth how I'm going about doing my research and how I am starting essentially from scratch. One thing that I do recommend is that in addition to using your library's resources, such as Solo at the Bodleian, is to actually use other universities' resources. So I'll also go to UCLA and Yale sites because oftentimes they have the same subscriptions, but their search engines actually pull up different results. And then also use Google. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but actually sometimes if you pull in your key terms on Google, then you'll actually have better luck finding the articles or relevant books. So that's just one thing to consider, but I'm gonna go ahead and down this coffee and let's get to work.
So when I begin a literature review search, I will go to the library sites at multiple universities and put in key terms that I have indicated that are relevant for my research. From there, I will write down the citation and then what keywords actually led to me finding that article. Then, as I get into the articles, I will check the footnotes and see if there are any other relevant resources which I should check out as well. Then, after working on my dissertation for about 3 hours, I went ahead and did some client work, leaving notes on a client's personal statement.
Alright, so it's been a couple of hours and I've been working on my dissertation. I started using a new citation software called Mendeley. I have used Zotero and EndNote before, but I think Mendeley is probably the best software for me. I'm going to do a video on citation software and whatnot later down the road when I'm working on my dissertation, but basically what I've been doing is finding secondary literature and articles and books and things that I want to include in my dissertation, or if they are not applicable to this dissertation, then at least I have the citation to look back on it if I ever have another project that is somewhat similar. So I was inputting that. I found a couple different articles that I've been digging into, and then I switched gears to do a little bit of client work to send my client her documents. And now I'm going to take a quick break to eat some food, and then I'll be jumping back into LSAT mode for the rest of the evening. And I will probably only work for another hour or two, and then I'm going to take the rest of the night off to do some reading and probably hang out with my sister, so that way I have a nice relaxing evening after what has been a very productive day. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some food upstairs and then get to work on the LSAT again. Alright, so I've studied for about another hour and a half, and I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I am going to take a shower and spend the night hanging out with my sister. So I'm going to go ahead and get some clips of me unwinding for the evening, but I got a bit done on the intro to logic reasoning and the intro to logic game sections of my prep course today. I got a bit of work on my dissertation done, and I got my client documents out. So it's been a super productive day, and this is a perfect example of how I manage to balance multiple projects at once and how I'm able to kind of time block my day. So I put in a couple hours on the LSAT this morning and then a couple hours on the dissertation this afternoon, did some client work for a bit, and then went back to working on the LSAT. So it's mostly just about kind of coordinating your time and putting things in small chunks, so that way you can focus on one project, but that you aren't going to get burnt out. I'm somebody that doesn't like to work a full day on one project unless it is to write a paper. And I like being able to do a couple hours on an individual project and then switch gears and look at something entirely different. For example, this evening I'm also going to work on editing videos, so I'm going to hang out with my sister for a little bit, then I'm going to go back to my computer and edit some videos this evening. So it's a perfect balance of me being able to do my academic work for Oxford, my LSAT work for applying to law school in the fall, to getting my client work done, and then also doing stuff for YouTube and for social media. I'm hoping that that was a good example for you guys and that you are able to take something away from today's video and how I manage my time. So that all being said, I'm gonna go ahead, take a quick shower, and hop into bed, watch a movie with my sister, and then edit a video.
You're a sunset over velvet hills, soft as lavender and rain, golden sky dressed in daffodils, smile as sweet as sugar cane. You know I've got. He started with hello on a summer afternoon. I lost myself and everybody else when I found